had an idea. Hold up. I think I know how to get our screens together, like side by side. But yeah,
Rock out.
rock it. Wee.
Yeah, we got to
No,
do
but
something during these times.
dude,
Sheesh.
yeah. I know, man. I've been kind of going back and forth with that. Just watching other like podcasts and stuff like that, and just trying to manage the balance of it. You know what I mean? Like, I understand it's serious, and I understand that this shit's real. But at the same time, we need to kind of keep a level head, as even though as difficult as that may be. You know what I mean? But we've got to bring some humor, just be ourselves. Really, now's the
And
time to
that's
like be ourselves and kind of create. You know what I mean?
and exactly. I was just, kind of like, man, it's my off day today. What can I do? Anyway, all by myself, ride my bike, not really be around nobody. I just
Yeah.
ride around. I already doing this alleged social distance, but we have a curfew over here, 10 o'clock, Kansas City, Wyandotte County. What about you guys?
You were coming in broken right now, but I just turned the captions on, so that should help. I didn't know this thing had captions. That's badass.
Yeah.
So yeah, over here they went to uh pretty much lockdown for all non-mission essential place, not mission essential, but all. So like grocery stores are still open, just the basic necessities are still open, like gas stations, financial institutions. And I've kind of heard about like my my sister-in-law, she's in Abilene, and somebody came through the drive-through and was like coughing up a storm, and they only have the drive-through open, right?
Mhm.
And she had to receive the money that was getting coughed all on, and in the check that the lady was cashing was a quarantine check. Like so, yeah, like she's keeping the social distancing, but you know what I mean. And then like with the amount of time that this COVID-19 whatever can stay on surfaces, it's just like it. You know what I mean? It's not as cut and dry as we would like. And I don't understand why they keep those. I understand like people need to access money and financial, but in the day of today's internet, you know what I mean? The ATM machines and stuff like that. Well, you know what I mean? You shouldn't have to go to a bank or keep people in the bank. You know what I mean? So,
Hey,
but I'm not an
yeah.
expert, so who the fuck am I to say anything?
Yeah, and just think all those stimulus checks, they're going to be handed out in the form of checks. It's not going to be an electronic payment. It's going to be checks mailed out.
So I went, well, I saw the whole thing on stimulus checks, and whether this is true or not, but it stated that everything was going to be direct deposited. But I don't know how that would happen unless you're like prior DOD or something that you're not already linked up to the system. But for like the average everyday Joe, like I don't, they're gonna have to. Well, you know what? They might already have it in the system through IRS.
It said, I looked it up. It said whoever they're going to go off of your last year's taxes, however you filed and however many kids you claimed and all that, and that's pretty much what your checks going to be based off of.
Well, that's bullshit. Well, that doesn't really help us, and I don't think we're in the position. Like, as long as we keep getting our like my retirement check and stuff, like the DOD and
Yeah.
disability check, we should be good. But if we're gonna go off of last year's tax return, we're fucked. Because like my wife was making like a shit ton of money, and then she wasn't happy with her job, and she went back to school for Chinese medicine, which is cool, but we were making like we were like in the up like middle class tax bracket, and that went down to just my income. So you know what I mean? If we're gonna go off that, then luckily, and as long as that everything holds true and like the steady flow of like the payments coming out at the first of the month, you know what I mean, we should be good to go.
Yeah,
But
I saw that it was going to be $1,000 for I think workers, and then $500 for each kid. and then I
Yeah.
think it's another $500 maybe for your spouse, something like that.
Yeah. Well, definitely. I mean, I think it's good that they're doing it and they're kind of just putting it directly out to the people because if you just kind of take a like I went to HEB yesterday, just because I was like I just want to go one more time because we don't even go in with a whole grocery list. We go in like, all right, we already expect that not everything's gonna be there, so we're just gonna walk around, scan, and get what we can, and then dip out and then come back another day, you know.
Yeah.
But dude, like in the morning when they open the this is like in a shopping area, right? So, well, fucking duh, it's HEB's, it's a shopping area. No, but what I mean, like in a shopping center, was like other stores, like connected with the same overall building,
Yeah.
and that HEB is pretty big. And then that bitch went all the way down all those stores, which is maybe like 3 city blocks, or maybe 2 city blocks, depending on what city you're in.
Mhm.
But it go all the way down, all the way down. And my wife and I were in the car. We was like, we just wait because once they open, the line's gonna go down quick. We don't have to stand in line, you know. We just chill right here. So as soon as 8:10, or because they opened a little late, like the line started moving. So we're like, all right, let's go in line. You know, it's probably at the end, dude. It went all the way around back in the car, like where they the loading docks and stuff. It was all the way back there, dude. It was like they're selling concert tickets, dude, and that was just to get into HEB.
Is it, do they have the 10 people per store? Like only 10 people can be inside at a time, or is it just
That rule wasn't in place then, and I was thinking about that today. I was like, well, it's cool that everybody's coming in, but at the same time, it's not physically possible with the amount of real estate that's allowed in there. You know that you you're gonna be within the six, and then on top of that, right after there was a line to go inside, there was a line inside the store for the toilet paper. No bullshit. Yeah, there was a line for the
more
toilet
people
paper.
shit?
People were lining up in that line, so my wife and I, we just split up, and then we kind of met in the middle. We just grabbed, what we could, like the essentials. So going back to your original point about, you know, they then giving the money to directly to the people, and I've noticed in the past few times I went to the store that all the like the junk aisles and stuff, those are full of food. But all the essentials, meat, water, vegetable, well, not really vegetables, but in some stores, but all the vegetables are gone. But all the essentials were gone. Milk, eggs, bread. I'm not saying that's an essential, but like all the soda was still there.
Hmm.
A lot of a lot of the stuff that we normally just fucking snack on, like popcorn and shit, that shit was there.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's what I said. Like all the normal stuff. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna check out the grocery store today.
And
I'm
I
gonna be
said,
a
like, go ahead.
I'm gonna be a consumer today instead of a service worker. Cause man, it's
Yeah.
been crazy. It's been crazy, dude. Delivering that stuff. It's
Yeah,
I'm
so for those of you that I don't know, Chug over here, he works for Amazon, and like
sponsored to you in part by Amazon. You know, we're here.
so
See these little
they're
mad
bringing all your
bandits?
shit. They're bringing toilet paper. They're bringing everything.
We're bringing water. We're bringing wipes. We're bringing dog food. We're bringing kitty litter. We're bringing everything at a
Hey man,
timely manner sometimes, or not, or sometimes we might destroy it in the truck and then send it back to the station. That
yeah,
happens. Whatever.
yeah, yeah. So that big thanks for doing that, man. I mean, because you would think about like a system in place like Amazon would be huge in a time like this where everyone's getting like pretty much stuck in their houses, and then they're having to rethink the infrastructure as far as like how people get service and goods to them, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you called it out right. I mean, it's kind of sounds like a military term when you were like mission essential. No, you were
Right,
right. You
right,
were
right.
right. We got mission essential letters last night from the government that allows us to be out and about and explaining why. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not at the house. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
shouts out to leaves a letter. Just leave your email address down below. I got them fresh hot letters from the government.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, he's in Kansas. So he gives us a different perspective of like a different part of the country that is going through this. And from the last numbers I saw, you guys weren't as bad. I mean, it's all day to day, so it's not even worth saying that. But I mean, Texas is a lot bigger state and the amount of people here. You know what I mean? And then,
Yeah.
anywho, but I having said all that, dude, I got out for a ride yesterday because that's one of the things that's allowed, and I got out for a ride, but I just rode around the neighborhood. You know what I mean? I took
Hmm.
my dog to a parking lot right down the street, and I let her run around, which is so. Hey, PSA, snakes are back out here in Texas. She ran into a. It was a non-lethal snake. I know it was. It was pretending to be a rat, like a rattlesnake. It was like whipping his tail around, and this thing was
Uh,
about 3.5, 4 feet long. Which I was like, I saw that. I was like, oh shit! So I backed her. I called her back. I checked her real quick to make sure she wasn't struck, and then I got close to this. I mean, within reasonable distance, and I looked at the snake. And I'm not fucking, Steve Irwin or nothing, but I think I remember reading about those type of snakes that they pretend like they're rattlesnakes. But I forget what type of snakes they are. I haven't looked it up. She's been fine, so you know,
okay.
don't send any care packages to Lotus or nothing.
Not okay.
How about you,
Maybe.
man? Is riding still like uh health activity that you guys could do out there? I know it's
Yeah,
specified here.
yeah, yeah. I looked it up because I've been kind of disconnected from the news and all that stuff and the radios. Like I'm listening to my own music or I'm watching movies or something like that. Because I'm working the whole time. I don't want to be
Right.
worried about it, but I pay attention. But when I did look it up, everything I like to do, I can still go fishing, and of course, I'm going for a ride today. It's supposed to be about 71 here, so I'm gonna go out, find me a new trail, and explore. But if you're not going to the grocery store or the liquor store or to work with you got to be home.
Right. Right. Sorry, I started fucking with this computer again.
It's all
So
good.
yeah, I was trying to get my face in there, but I think I have it set up where it goes back and forth, like through the natural course of the video. But no, man, that's good that you're able to get out. And like I told my wife I was gonna probably try to go for a ride today, in the woods and kind of take Lotus and stuff. But I'm kind of second guessing taking her now because we ran into that one snake, and then we just had like a big rain. So it rained for a few days, pretty good here. And it wasn't like a lot of rain, but it was a constant rain. So that usually brings things up to the surface.
Yeah,
So I think I'm gonna take a break because I don't want to have to take her to a vet, and they're been repurposed for something else. You know what I mean? I don't want to try to get that antidote right now would be fucking be
yeah,
crucial. Would be bad. So, but I definitely want to try to go off a ride. And for those of you listening, like especially me, I mean, take it from me from crashing so fucking much. But if you're riding out there, try not to do any crazy stupid shit. And it's hard for me because I kind of just get in the mindset of it, and I'm just having a good time. But I mean, if you break something or you tear something, or you're gonna be waiting a while to get seen unless a doc or something that's not being, I don't know, some type of mob doctor or something. Fucking, I don't know that can take
yeah.
care of you.
Wear the
But
proper protection. Don't take unnecessary risks
right,
during this time of riding. Ride with some sense.
yeah, and the same thing if you're road riding too. I mean, people are more glued to their phones now and social media with good reason because they're trying to get updates. So if you're riding on the road, they're probably not paying attention to you on the road, and they're probably looking down. I've seen people swerving more often than I usually do when the times I got out to go get supplies or gas or whatever. So definitely be aware of that. They're not paying attention. People aren't really thinking straight right now, with good reason. But at the same time, just try to keep an eye out for yourself because, like I said, if you hurt yourself or anything, it's going to be hard to get into a hospital right now and get the proper care. So just be safe, man.
Be
You know,
smart. Move wisely out there. Think ahead. Plan. We
Planning,
should have a lot
exactly.
of we all should have a lot of time to plan right now because there's not a lot of stuff to do right now. So
Right. Got a plan. Was it piss poor plan counts for piss poor plan counts for or leads to piss poor execution? It's like the 7 P's or something. Piss poor planning leads to piss poor execution. So
if you don't got a plan, you're planning to fail possibly. I
yeah,
don't,
yeah.
you know.
But so this, like I said earlier, there was some miscommunication with Jonathan, and it was mainly me because I always get confused with the idea like when somebody's like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it next week." It was like on this past weekend, and in my mind, I'm like, because I've had this uh back and forth with people before. They're like, "Oh no, I meant next week to me means the week after next," and then
Yeah,
some people think next week is the week immediately next week. So in that case, it was this week, this Wednesday. So long story short, it's not a big deal. It gives them more time to plan for it. You know, it'll be our first guest that we're going to be having on. So I'm pretty sure we're going to have our own issues with that. We should have like a mock call and like call somebody else in just to see how that's going to run, like as far as the screens and the audio and stuff like that.
that could be an idea since everybody should be at home now. You know, you could just that could be a way of connecting with the mountain biking community. You know, like
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? We could possibly do
I'll
that.
chime in.
Have other people on and be like, hey man, how you doing today? You know what I mean? Just kind of. And if so, if hey, if you guys want to are interested in doing that and giving us your perspective or just to hang out with us and bullshit with us, I think we can get about maybe 2 more people on here. We could do that, and we can kind of get you know your perspective out there and just kind of get your message out there. You know, hopefully positive, and just kind of get find connection in that way. Maybe we could find out other things about you, like if you play music or if you I don't know, little hobbies you've been doing since or things that you haven't done in a while that you started doing again. Whatever ideas to share with other people. Like, hey, have you guys thought about this? And it might just breed information in a good way.
Yeah, absolutely. It could be, you know, you only get like maybe like 2 or 3 minutes per person. You know, come
Yeah,
in, ask them like 3 questions,
like a
get their
radio show.
perspective, and yeah, just
Hey, we could
chime
do that.
in. And then,
We could probably do that. We could. I'll put my number. Well, shit, that might be dangerous. Try to figure out a way
you can
to.
put your Skype name on there.
Yeah, put my Skype name on there, and then we could get people calling in. Hopefully, we don't crash Skype. Not like we got that many listeners.
Shut the shut the internet down. We get
shut
sponsored by Skype.
Shut it down. So
Yeah. Oh yeah.
one of
This is my chug for the day. We're chugging these wrong. Number three.
there you go. There you go.
Already.
Oh shit! I'm on my fucking headset. So one of the things I was. This is my Mop One helmet. You know, I feel. I was thinking about this past couple of days. This is like very eerie to like those that served in the military that were in Mop One when you kind of just you get your bag ready and you're kind of just ready like to just get locked down somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that's one of the different. I think as veterans, like we see things differently. Like when they're like, all right, we're gonna shut. We're just kind of like, all right, well, we're gonna go do this. It's kind of not really like a big deal to us. I mean, we don't do it just like blindly. We kind of keep one eye open while we're doing it. But at the same time, like we're not as I feel like the general public not being like, hey, your weekend's gone. They're like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
like we've always had curfews. Like, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. We've always had to be somewhere. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
damn, okay. Again, all right, well, I know how to move through this. Okay, well, at least if I'm moving differently under this curfew, I know I can have a excuses. But regular curfew in the military, as long as you got a good excuse, it can back it up. You can probably
yeah,
get away with it.
exactly, exactly. So it's just kind of embracing the suck is kind of what most of us say. Embrace the suck,
Pause.
man. Yeah, we don't know how long it's gonna be, but we just know we have to embrace it, and we're gonna figure shit out in the meantime. Yeah. So I
Hey,
mean, yeah.
that's gonna be the title of my next spoken thoughts. Embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck, dude. I mean, that's pretty much what it boils down to. Um, and I don't know, like one of the veteran groups, mountain biking groups that I follow on Instagram is Operation Yellowbird, and they started like I don't know if they're creating the memes themselves, but they're pretty fucking funny, man. They had the DI from um, Full Metal Jacket.
Hmm.
I forget his name. It's a party foul. I forgot his name. He's like one of the most, celebrated, actors in Prior Marine, Gunny. I, anywho,
He's
but
Pal, the dude. Come on, Pal.
yeah, yeah,
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So he, it'll come to me. Anyways, but he, they put a picture of him like yelling and like close in the face with his fucking DI bill and shit, and it says something along the lines that I'm gonna probably butcher this is like pretty much America, you got one fucking job, like like to just sit on your ass and do nothing, don't fuck it up, you know what I mean? And but I think it's just yeah, it's just the way things are right now. I mean, people are just not really sure what to do, getting conflicting information, but at the same time, like we're just gonna kind of got to take a deep breath and be like, all right, these are the facts, and I'm just gonna do my part and just try to avoid, do the social distancing thing and try not to make this any worse. You know what I mean? But embrace the
Yeah, but
suck.
that's the way that you've been groomed, and you've been living for the past 20 years. It's just like, all right, I'm gonna adapt and overcome and just push through it. But everybody doesn't have that mental capability to do that, or
Right,
even to see that far out. They thinking about right now, like
right, right,
just
and
you
yeah,
can't
and
control me.
so to kind of I mean, Hollywood hasn't really done a good reason. I mean, a good job of putting the calm in people. You know what I mean? Because what makes movies is just kind of like scare people. You know what I mean? So they have this, and it is a good time. If any time that people need to be concerned, I mean, obviously it would be right now. But
Yeah,
in the Hollywood movies, it's like shit gets fucking bad. You know what I mean? It's just like there's zombies, and then there's, zombies are like just look at this, like like how exponentially worse it got. So you think of The Walking Dead, like in the 50s when they came out with it, they're like all fucking slow and shit. And then
yeah.
fast forward like 20 years or 40 years or so, um, the fucking zombies are like running fucking 340, 40-yard fucking times and shit.
Superhuman strength, superhuman
Superhuman
strength.
strength. You know what I mean? So people have that idea in their mind and they're like, fuck. I bet you people are working out now, fucking running on the treadmill and shit.
Exactly. I'm about to give me some pull-ups. I do workouts too. I'm probably about to do some workout videos.
Dude,
I got
I
this
was thinking about,
beam.
go ahead.
I got this beam that I could do pull-ups on. So
Nice.
get to my muscle ups still.
Oh,
I got
nice.
yeah. But I want to do more stuff like strengthening my legs though, man, for riding, like endurance.
I
I
can,
think
I
I'm gonna
can,
try to.
I can tell you what to do on some of those, dude. So before all this, my wife had the foresight to, she was like, oh, I can, she's prior military too. So I guess she instinctively just had the same understanding that we're probably going to be stuck in the house. But she ordered a rower, those fucking CrossFit rowers, because we have like
Yeah.
almost a we have a pretty much a full gym in our garage now because we're just like we were kind of getting done with when I was exiting the military, or like we really don't want to be driving on base anymore. There's a lot of people usually, you trying to work out, so we had this idea to create our own gym. So we slowly started buying that stuff over time. But
Hmm.
she just recently bought a rower, and we used it yesterday. And it actually came kind of late because of everything that's going on right now. Um, but we actually used it the day before yesterday, and it was pretty badass. But I can, so we have a full squat rack machine that with a pull up bar, like those. There's one of those Rogue um,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like, so we have that. We have some free weights. We got maybe like 185 pounds and like plates and stuff. But so, and we have a Olympic size bar. So my point is that, yeah, man, if there's things that you want to try to, like a little workout, my wife, like she's a better programmer than I am, but we can put some stuff together for you. Just like things you can do around the house, like unilateral training, which is when it's just you're using one leg to stand up, from a chair, and you can start
Hmm.
helping yourself get up, and at first, but you'll get to the point where you're able to stand up on one leg on your own. You know what I mean? But that because the mindset or the train of thought behind that is that when you do a squat, you're using both legs, right? And usually one
Hmm.
side's weaker than the other, or something's like an injury or something. You compensate, so the other leg always makes up for the weaker leg. So if you do unilateral training with just one leg, you're just working that one side and you can't compensate for the other side. So with that same mindset, if you flip it around, you're able to strengthen that side as well. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
that,
that's definitely what I need to get on. Definitely.
yeah. And then, do you have any like ropes or anything? Like in the when I say ropes, it doesn't have to be like just ropes that would be like able to hold you up because
Nah.
you know how like some deployments there was it was mainly like around like well some of the like where they had like suspension training, where they had
Yeah, I know
the
what you're talking
the
about. Like,
nylon cable. Like I'm trying to think of like I have one. It's like some fucking BX brand, but I've been doing that for stabilizer training because when we're riding, all our muscles like there's stabilizer muscles around all our joints,
hmm.
and so it's kind of like the gymnast. Did we talk about this last time? I feel like we talked about this.
Nah,
Anyways, like all the
that's pretty cool that you said because I do that a lot. Like, I do a lot of like pull ups and
right,
dips and like shoulder stuff. Like, I do a
right.
shit ton of that.
Yeah, so one of the common elements with riding and in my short time of riding and things and injuries I've seen is like shoulder injuries, like where they're like tweaking their shoulders or like their back or upper back, but everything's connected. But what's like, gymnasts, they have the rings and they're able to hold out like that. If you were to try that, any regular person try that, I mean, not many of us can do that because our stabilizer muscles are real weak. And usually,
Hmm.
when your stabilizer muscles are weak, think about the idea of the stabilizer muscle, right? Let's say your joints are here, and these muscles are going around it, trying to keep your shoulder in place, right here, right here. And if they're weak, then the inside, like the inner part of the joints is usually what gets tweaked, or those tendons get tweaked because your stabilizer muscles are too weak
Right.
because they
They're not
can't
strong.
stabilize
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but if you start and it seems like a stupid movement because you're kind of just hanging out there, just trying to hold yourself up. Um, but you start out like scaling, so they would be hanging above you, and then if you're staying straight up, and you lean forward and just try to hold your arms up, then you'd feel like the resistance on your stabilizer muscles. But obviously, the further you go in inclination, the harder it's going to get because the amount of weight that you're putting on your stabilizer muscles. So it's good for like a scaled option. Scaled meaning that if you can't support your full body weight, which most of us can't, then you could adjust the angle that you're at. So if you were to get ropes and just hang them from a secure part like the rafters you were talking about from the
Yeah.
ceiling, you can, even if you have one, you can just hang out right here and lean forward, and you have the rope right here and it's behind you, and just kind of lean forward and you can feel all those tendons and muscles kind of stretching. You just do it at your own pace. That's usually like a good way to start getting back into working out so you avoid injury. But I am not a kinesiologist, so nor do I claim to be. These are just the years
You
of me
just
trying to
know
work
stuff.
out.
You're very knowledgeable, and there's nothing wrong with that. Very knowledgeable.
I think Joe Rogan said it best. I'm just he says I'm gonna probably fuck this up too. He's just repeating shit other smart people said. You know what I mean? Stuff he's read, stuff he's listened to, or just information he's decided to take in it, and then you apply it to your life, and then well, that shit don't work. That's bullshit. You can't throw it out. and so
Yeah,
forth and so on. So,
I'm more of
so
a
what?
keep throwing shit at the wall until something sticks. You
That's
know.
kind of that's kind of what I did when I got out of the military, dude. I just fucking threw. I was just throwing shit at the wall to see what stuck. That's why I bought a mountain bike. I was like, I need to find something. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna buy this and see what happens. You know what I mean? The
Yeah.
YouTube channel, same thing. Uh,
Some don't
Instagram,
stick, man.
they don't. You just
Instagram.
got. Sometimes you just gotta let them hit the ground. You know, just kind of like, well, tried that shit.
Yeah, it was fun, but hey, we still got all these other ideas. We gonna keep throwing stuff. That's what got me in the ride when I was in DC, when I was stationed there. I was just like, what are these trails next to the subway? I definitely would want to see what that's about. So, and I would see all the bike lanes in the middle of the street downtown, and I was like, this looks fun. So,
Yeah, man. That's cool. I wish I would have rode in DC. I've been to DC, but I was either passing through or visiting friends, or that was pretty much the only reason. I never had to go there for like, duty or anything. So I'm kind of
yeah.
glad. I just, I just
you
a
would have
lot
you
of
would have
people.
worked you would have worked a lot. You would have worked a lot if you would have been in
Yeah,
that area.
in my last unit, we dealt a lot with the um, Congress and the Senate and shit like that. Whenever we had to, like a huge, we had a palm for the budget, which is you pretty much, you remember that shit, like you palm for it, like, hey, we're gonna need this amount of money for the next five years for a program or whatever. So
Yeah,
our boss used to go and talk about, and then he would go meet with, like, just on a whim, like, hey, so and so wants to talk to you. You got to be on a plane tonight to DC. I mean, granted, we're in Boston, so it's not that long of a flight, but that wasn't like, it wasn't a surprise. But I just remember like how many meetings that guy was in, and I was just like, fuck that. Like, it's just a lot, and everything's, on you. The money, if anything goes wrong with the money or anything, it's just like it's on you. You have to. That's just a responsibility I didn't want to be on, because I already had my own responsibilities in my own program, and it wasn't even near the amount of money that this guy was, moving around. So, um,
yeah. A higher ranking official, I would imagine.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Nah, he was an airman basic. Just fucking.
Nobody knows what that means.
Oh, he was just the E1.
You would? Okay.
Yeah, he was just the E1.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna find me some bands. Like I'm gonna go to Cabela's today and probably try to get some ammo, some more ammo. Who knows?
Yeah,
And then go for try to stay connected, but then just not too dependent. Like we appreciate you guys, tuning in and tapping in, but just don't let that be the only thing you do. Like get outside, clean your car out or something. Clean your bike
yeah,
out.
definitely. Like, clean your bike, car. We washed our car the other day, and it fucking rained. Like the same day, it hadn't rained in a while, and it fucking rained. I was like, that makes sense. But yeah, I have like all these things I need to do. Like, I need to, like, my garage. If you're going there right now, like on my workbench, all my shit's just thrown on there. It's just because I was trying to install something in the house. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but I found it like a good opportunity and a good reason to do so. Um, I went to Lowe's and I got a water filter system, because there's a connection in the garage, but we've been buying bottled water, like the big fucking 5 gallons, putting in the machine, and that's what we've been drinking out of water because we're renting
Mhm.
here. So I was like, you know what? This is a good opportunity. I'm gonna go do that. And so I was going in, trying to get the parts and then piece it together myself. I'm not a plumber, There wasn't that many fucking YouTubes. Ayo Smith, you sons of bitches, you need to put a better guide together on how to put that fucking filter system in. Holy shit, dude.
Say
It
it
was
again
dumb.
for the people in case they didn't hear. Say it again.
Ayo Smith, you motherfuckers, you need to put a better detailed how to put that system in. They just expect you to hire like a plumber, and that wasn't really an option. So it needs to be a little bit more intuitive. But anyways, I got that bitch in. It took a while too because there was a couple of leaks. So I had to take it apart and then put it back together. but I finally got it down to like one little drop every like I don't know 10 minutes. So it's gonna have to stay put.
Mm.
I might have to put some gum on the bitch or something to keep it in. But you know what
Put
I
some.
mean? Yeah, put some Skippy, damn Skippy. But yeah, man. So I got that in, and just little projects put that together. And then uh, I was thinking about creating like another like video and stuff of like a small one just for Instagram. I haven't been on Instagram this past couple of days really because I was kind of just taking a break from that as well. I was like, you know what, like there's opportunity, you know, because not to say that I'm like social media like impacts my life the way it does for some people, but it does
Mm.
impact it in the way that because for a long time I stayed away from social media because I had these. Did we talk about this already? I just
I
had
don't
to.
believe so. I
I
don't
had to
believe
press.
so.
I didn't like social media for a long time because all the negative aspects that I saw with it. You know, with people like just kind of exploiting themselves for whatever reason. And I saw mainly like with a lot of young kids, and then it was just like it kind of bred that entitlement part aspect of it. So my point is, I saw like a lot of negative reasons to have it. So I didn't
Yeah.
really post much on there or say anything really worth of value because anytime I did, it was just met with like silence. Especially like Facebook, you bring up some, hey, you guys should read this article. It's really good. It's just like fucking silence. But then you like,
Crickets.
yeah, and then you say something along the lines like, oh yeah, so and so pissed me off at the store today. It's like, what? Oh my god, fuck that person. Ah, you know, it's just like
Yeah,
negative.
that
But
yeah, that has more energy as opposed to you trying to enlighten somebody's day. That has
right,
more in people want that shocker, they want that instant
right,
to be involved, to get an input, to see if they can be heard, or
right, right.
share what everybody else is sharing and passing it along.
Right. It's a community of negativity is what it is. I mean, and I'm not judging. That's just what it is because people, as social beings, we crave community, right? And whether negative or positive, you know, if we feel that we're connected with somebody in some way, then we're going to equally gravitate toward that. And if you're always getting like a release of dopamine every time somebody like acknowledges your negative slight or whatever that you're saying, then they're going to keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the art of getting the attention, everybody in some form, way or another, I mean, likes attention. So,
Right.
and
Right.
social media is just a better outlet for everybody in the world for possibly, get that attention. So that's what
So
we're trying to do. We're trying to get people's attention.
yeah, we are. But I think so. I was saying that to say this that I was there, but then when I kind of came to this new understanding of what I wanted to do, and we've had this conversation before, and I came to the realization, like and it was so like blatant. Like sometimes when you're so close to the problem, you can't really see, like, cause it's like right here, you can't see like around it. You know what I mean? But I was
Mm.
able to kind of remove myself and then kind of like, why can't you use this platform for bringing like I don't know, some type of positive content or some type of, share your experiences. And not to say I'm special in any way, but also provide a forum for other people to share their experiences, and then we can kind of talk about it. And if we disagree on stuff, we can, we could agree to disagree. But the point is that we leave that, meeting with a different perspective or a different understanding, at least understand where that person's coming from. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
through that, other people can hear that conversation and be like, "Oh, that's bullshit," or "No, that's right," or "Oh, wow, I never thought about that." But the point is just to kind of invoke the idea of appreciating different people's perspectives and try to take them for your own. And if you can't, and you just don't agree to disagree, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still you understand that we all do see things differently, and that's that's what makes us us. You know what I mean? We don't
Yeah,
all
we
have
all
to
got
fucking always
different
agree.
lenses. Like we could both look at the same thing and have totally different outlooks on what the same thing we're looking at. But hey, that's what makes people people. And that's what makes us come together. That's what makes us different. And that's what makes the world pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. Because you imagine if everybody was the same way, like the same mindset, the same it would be like watching. I mean, paint dry,
It was
dude.
just
It'd be
the
living in.
same song and watching the same TV station. You would have one
Yeah,
song, one TV station. It would be
yeah.
so, I don't know. But that would be all that we would know. So we wouldn't know
That's
any
true.
different.
Exactly where I was gonna go with it. I was gonna be like, but then how will we know that there's anything different? So if you take that idea and then you kind of put that with somebody that's never left the city or like the city, like so let's say you grew up with a friend, right? I'm sure we all have friends like this, and then you leave like at the same time you're like, oh man, because when I was before I joined, I was like, man, I don't ever want to leave here. I had this idea that and I did belong to that community in a sense, but I had this different loyalty to that community than like it was like way above what it should have been. And then when I
Mhm.
got removed from that community and then kind of put in another community, I was like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, it's like learning like a whole different. So going from that to basic training, and then be like, now I'm with people from all over, and you're forced real quick to whether you say anything or not, but you're forced real quick to like challenge your own perspectives. You know what I mean? Like on what you were
Absolutely.
brought up in. And then you just that just keeps happening to you. Like, all right, you're hurt, and you gotta fucking move on. There's different people, gotta move on, different people, and then you're constantly in flux. You know, you're constantly like bouncing around with perspective.
Yeah,
Um,
and I think that funny that you brought that up. I think that kind of helped me and prepared me for when I came into the military because starting out young, I went to one high school and then I transferred to another high school. So that was, a totally different group of friends and all that stuff, for sports. And then in college, I went to one college 1 year. Second year, transferred to another college. Third year, transferred to another college. And then once I finished school or my eligibility was done playing basketball, that's when I went to the military. So like I was already kind of groomed, like bouncing around, getting a group of friends, then leaving, getting a group of
right.
friends. So like,
Yeah, it was different for me, man. Like,
I was
cause I
kind
just
of.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, 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 no. And it makes perfect sense because I didn't have those experiences. Like, I just stayed in the same community, same neighborhood, and then moved kind of along with the cattle. You know what I mean? To high school, and
Mhm.
out of high school, like I remember in high school, I was like, I don't ever want to fucking come back. Like, you know what I mean? I would always kind of be like real judgy of people going back to high school, like right afterwards, and I'm like, why the fuck you back here? You know, you just, you know what I mean? But that was my own shit, you know. I was just, projecting on somebody else, just because I don't know. I didn't like high school that much. Maybe it was the best experience they ever had, and they want to hold on to it. And hey, whatever. You gotta go what works for you. You know what I mean? But
Absolutely.
going from that to the military, and then different bases and but bases shutting down. Yeah, it prepared a lot of us for today. You know what I mean? We're able to use our experiences in the military, and then try to just help people see things from a different way. It's not just with what's going on right now, but with anything and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And through the positive thing of mountain biking, you know what I mean? That's kind of um,
It's outlet.
right, right, um, and it's kind of it honestly got me ready for this too, as not necessarily like doing a podcast, but it's got me ready to like where I started to realize that adding and needing certain things in my life. You know what I mean? I got rid of a big TV I had in my living room because I was like, I don't even watch the bitch. I'm always writing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I downgraded to a smaller TV, um, and so that, and then I started. I'm not gonna eat out as much because I was eating out a lot. And don't get me wrong, I like to eat out, but even with that, I was like, oh, really don't want to be eating out too much anymore, just because I started doing things like mountain biking. I noticed that when I would ride and I would eat Whataburger, I felt like shit, you know what I mean? I wasn't able to ride as long. So me being selfish and wanting to ride more, I was like, I'm not going to have Whataburger today. You know what I mean? So it kind of got me, because I wonder how many, like, people are like going crazy because they can't have like certain foods. You know what I mean?
I'm missing Hooters right now. I love Hooters. Shouts out to Hooters. I really like y'all chicken wings.
Is it the chicken wings or is it the conversation?
It's the chicken wings, because here the waitresses aren't to be desired. They're appreciated.
Uh,
Yeah,
I'm
but
tracking.
it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of got more fond with for wings. It's called Anchor Bar. Um, they actually the first one I ate at was in Buffalo, New York. We took a when we were stationed in Boston. We took a trip from Buffalo, New York. No, from Boston all the way to Buffalo, New York, which is about 7 8 hours. And it was a
Mhm.
quick turn and burn. You know, we took off on a Friday. It was for our anniversary weekend. We took off on a Friday. Got there around noon. We took off like at 3 in the morning. Got there around noon. We ate at Duff's, which is like one of the wing places in Buffalo. It's either Duff's or Anchor Bar. Those are kind of like the two. Like, do you like Duff's or Anchor Bar? It's kind of like it gives you a litmus of who what type of person you are. I mean, there's no scientific proof behind that. It's just kind of how Buffalo like people rate you, I guess, on some level. Anyways, so we ate at Duff's the first day, and that was okay. But then the next day when we were leaving, we ate at Anchor Bar. So we ate wings 2 days in a row, and I've gotten quite fond with Anchor Bar. And then they opened one here up in San Antonio, which isn't too bad either. But so Hooters, mm, nah, not really. I'll eat the wings, but it's not really like the sauces. I'm not really fond of, and you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
that was a long segment on fucking wings. So
Wings. Man, I might grill today. I'm glad you said that. That's my social distancing. I might grill something
I might
tonight.
too. Actually, that's one of the things I bought more charcoal because I was like, I can grill more. Just got more time. I can grill more, hang out on the porch, kind of make a day of it. But that's another thing I got. But what do you grill on? Like, what's your
It'll,
grilling? Do you have any
it'll
recipes or
well, I did have a cooking channel when I was living stationed in Madrid, so
there
we
you
used to
go.
get busy. I might send you a couple of those old videos. But I don't know, man. I love me a good old slab of ribs, but I cook them kind of fast, so I ain't marinated them yet. But I might just go, regular, get some chicken, throw some chicken breasts on there, set
When
me
you
up
say,
some meals for the week.
when you say you cook it fast, what do you mean? Like you throw it in the oven or?
Nah, I usually cook them probably about 4 hours, maybe 3 or 4 hours. Some people cook them for like 8, 9 hours. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's usually like at a slower temperature though, or a lower temperature, not slower. I don't even know what that would mean, slower temperature.
That means
Just
cooler.
constantly like increasing it.
That'll
It
be
has to
a
be
hell of a
just right.
taco
It has to be
grill.
just right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's fucking a lot of
That's too fast. No,
too
that's too
fast.
fast.
Yes,
That's
gotta
too
take it
fast.
back. Gotta take it back.
Yeah.
So, little announcement here. I mean, you guys, I'm pretty sure anybody listening to this, but I'll explain to Chug here that I bit the bullet like 2 weeks ago, and I bought a Box 9 drivetrain for my bike.
Hmm.
So like the real common thing with like the way people are going is a 12-speed drivetrain. That's just for better climbing, and it's all about the ratio. Like if I can't really get into the ratio, but if the ratio is right, then it'd be good for climbing and going downhill. But what Box did, Box is a new company that came around like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, and they kind of made they're real big like in BMX, and maybe trials bike. Where they started out in BMX. I don't know. I really don't
Hmm.
remember the exact history with it, but through I think the idea of Seth's bike hacks, I want to say it came from him, or maybe it came off of their. I think it was a combination of they had an e-bike drivetrain which was 9 speed, and they took that and modified it for an e. They modified it for I guess an analog bike. I don't know what else you call it, from an e-bike to so e-bike is like a pedal assist. It's called electric bike, where it's like,
Uh-huh.
like the ones you're talking about in your city.
Yeah.
But then analog would just be a regular bike. You got a pedal, so it's the kind of. Anyways, but they came out with a drivetrain, and it's supposed to have the same. I want to say it's the same ratio as with climbing with a 12 speed, but you have three less cogs in the back. Um, so it's supposed to be lighter because most of the time when I feel like when I'm riding, I don't use like some of the gears in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, do I really need those three extra cogs? You know what I mean? Because most of the time I'm either going up or down. You know what I mean? Like most of us are. So it's not like always like just downhill. And I wanted that the perfect combination. But if you can get that in ratio with the box nine, then yeah, I'm gonna try it out. So it cost me like two bills for a whole group set. I'm not sure if it's that cheap because um, if they're trying to promote it and get more, um, that line out there so people can start using it and kind of create a demand for it or what. But I like the idea that they guarantee most, I think it's like all their parts where they make it modular so you can, if something breaks on it, you can replace it. And they make it like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to say it's with a long warranty. They like guarantee their stuff. So if you break anything, then I think within the lifetime of it, then they'll replace it. But don't go off my word. Look that up before you buy it. But I got it. Maybe I can show it here. If you, so what are you planning to, like the grocery stores? Or when's the last time you've been there? While I look this up.
I've been to the shoe. It's probably been about a week and a half, because all I've been doing is working. So I get my one day off, and then I go to work the following day. So it's gonna be an adventure, to say the least. I'm gonna go to the bank, then I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna go to the grocery store after I ride, though. So it's gonna be nice. It's supposed to be about 71. So check that out, and then see what's on the shelves. Definitely gonna get some charcoal, like you said. Stock up on that, and then figure out what we gonna throw on the Barbie and get busy.
Shrimp on the barbie. So I'm almost finished with the video I'm doing. It's called well, I'm trying to think of a catchy phrase, and you're talking about like make people click on it. But it's pretty much like trying to dial in my DVO rear shock. So I created a video like a how to, but I
You dive into your DBO.
DVO. What's that?
You say you're trying to dive into your DBO.
I'm trying to dial in my Delta Victor Oscar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's my
I
rear
don't know
shock.
what that.
That's my look. I'll show you right now. Since we have access to the interwebs, DVO Topaz. I got this off of one of my friends that I ride with. Shout out to Jesse Salas.
Shout out Jesse.
Yeah, man, that guy, he's as tough as nails, dude. Um, he's a great inspiration. That's a Topaz too. I have the Topaz 3. Damn, that's sexy right there. Products,
So that's a
shocks.
shock I'm looking at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the one I got off of them for way cheaper than that. So that's why I was able to do that. And that's what I talk about a little bit on my video. But it's pretty much dialing this in on my bike. And when I say dial it in, it means like to, pretty much get it to where you want it. But this right here is a bitch to put air in. And I'm trying to find another picture. So you need to have the right shock pump. Because if you don't have the right shock pump, then the air like escapes. Like if you just when you're trying to take off the little knob, you're trying to take it off really fast, and a little air escapes sometimes out of anything with pressure in it.
Hmm.
Well, this is like since it's so tight, then like a little bit of air pressure is like 30-40 psi, like in just one little hiss, like that's like fucking. So you have to put almost more air than it's recommended on there, which is 200 psi. So you probably have to put like 210, and then hopefully it stays at the pressure that you want it at. but you don't want to put too much air in that damn thing. You know what I mean?
Because it'd be
So
too hard.
yeah, well, now it would be too hard, but you could also probably break the internals because it's only like rated for a certain amount of. This is the bladder I was
So do
talking
you use an
about.
air? You use an air pump to put air in there? How do you
No,
put air in there?
you a shock pump,
You blow in it?
shock pump. Yeah, you gotta blow on it. You gotta get your lips on there. Squeeze really tight. I think saxophone players are probably the best to do this. Because they've trained their lips in such a way to put that much pound per square inch on their lips, so they're able to get in there a lot quicker. I'm making shit up.
And or trumpeters.
Yeah, so I got a video coming on this, and it's just me like talking to the camera really while I'm trying not to fuck up my bike. But because I was actually gonna call my local bike shop and try to see if they can service this. Because when I was taking it off, because you can take off this canister right here, and you can put more tokens to make it harder, like more progressive when you're riding. But a little bit of oil came out, and I don't want it to be too much oil when I'm riding it. Then I burn the insides because I'm a jackass. Uh,
You're learning. You're just
I
learning.
And that's what it is, man. On the video, I say that like, hey, we're learning together. I'm creating the content because I enjoy doing it, and that's it. So now let me just try to find this group set. Group sets. And oh, your fat face is not working. Oh man,
Mm.
Corona.
Have you heard any helicopters down
I
there in the evening times?
I have but I live by a bunch of hospitals, which is
Oh,
got its own. Yeah, I live in around the area called Medical Center in San Antonio, so that's exactly what it is. You picture like 30 hospitals within, I don't know, 20 square miles or so, maybe more than that. I don't know. I'm just ballparking, but
right.
I hear a lot of helos at night. I don't know if they're transporting patients or, but I've been hearing them an uptick in them since like 3 4 weeks ago, just because that's kind
Mm,
of stuff I pay attention to. I'm sure you do too. And
yeah.
I have also, um, but I don't. For some reason, it's not showing the group set on here. So I'm just gonna go back and pick another site. Why have you been hearing a lot of choppers? Choppers.
I
Having
haven't personally, but other people that I've spoken to said that they've been hearing them, and then that's why we allegedly have this curfew is because they're spraying the antidote into the air at night. That's a conspiracy theory I've been hearing.
Nah, man. I think if they're spraying it, because I know what they're doing in some. I don't think it's the antidote. I think what they're doing is they're like, if they are spraying anything, and I don't know, I haven't heard this conspiracy theory before, but I know, and here locally in San Antonio, they're spraying down like public places like parks and like the equipment swings and stuff like that. I don't know what they're spraying on it. It might be pure alcohol. I don't know what it is, but they're spraying something on there like to kill whatever bacterias or whatever viruses are on there. But it could be the same thing, but I don't know, man. I haven't seen any like different haze in the air or nothing that would come from a spray. But then again, I don't stand outside at night.
But you have, but you say you have experienced some unexpected rain. That's not normal.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say it's not normal because it is like the raining season right now here in San Antonio. I'm just saying like it just kind of just seemed to like real misty and hazy, not hazy, but rainy. So I don't know. I mean, that's something I'm gonna definitely pay attention to though.
Yeah.
So check this out, dude. This is the box, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but I know some people are probably like, "Hey,
Yeah,
man,
like
what's up on the
what?
screen? What's up on the
Yeah.
screen?" So this is the box three prime nine that I got. I don't know why I set the title like that, but it's just a box nine. And then this is what I have similar on my bike right now. It's a SRAM Eagle. So if you just look at uh, weight comparisons, like the total weight. this is, I mean, it's not, this is actually heavier, but the price is cheaper than the NX Eagle. And I think the ratio is supposed to be the same as the climbing, except, but that doesn't make any much sense, does it? How is this more heavier with three less cogs? So I guess I'm learning things on my own. So by me saying that it's lighter, that's not necessarily true. But the efficiency of riding, I think, should be better. Um, but you know what? I have the SRAM GX. It's not the Eagle though, because all Eagle means is it's the 12 speed, and most bikes now run on 11 speed, but the new thing is 12 speed. So the idea with the Box 9 is that you have the same climbing ratio as a Box 12. I mean, as a 12 speed, but only with 9 cogs. Does that make sense? So like,
Sure.
so like,
I'm sitting here looking at it.
yeah. So if you look at these are the cogs I'm talking about on the cassette. You see? Can you see that?
Yeah.
So I think this is 9 of them. And normally you would have 12 of these coming all the way out to like right here. But the ratio is just about like how many teeth are on here compared to your front chainring, and that creates the ratio of what is like. It's like if you think of it like a. I mean, I'm not an engineer, so I can't really speak to like the anatomy of clocks and how they work. But I just got to trust the engineers on this one, and makes it sound like a. It makes it like the equal ability to climb as much as a 12 speed, because 12 speeds are designed to create like, so you're making steeper climbs, it's easier to climb because you have a bigger cog, you know. And then the smaller one is the hardest gear, so that's for going downhill. So that's all it does. It makes your climbing range a lot more effective. That's pretty much what it
Okay.
boils down to.
I'm thinking about tackling this park today. It's a lake. It's
What's
five
the,
and a half
what's
miles, but
what's
it's
the name
so
of
many
it?
hills. Wyandotte County Lake,
Womback? Like
Wyandotte, Wyandotte,
WYAN
Dotte.
Lake?
Yeah, Wyandotte County Lake. County.
Wyandotte County Lake. Oops. I probably jacked up the spelling on that. Wyandotte. Yeah, I did. No, I didn't.
That's it.
Oh, look at it. It's on.
Look.
Hold up. I'm gonna find a better because this is like one of the common mountain biking like all trails. So you can go in and it tells you like what the trail conditions are. This is from 17 days ago. But if you click on it, you can see the full map, and
Ah,
look at that. And it gives you
look at
the.
that.
If you look at this, you see the climbing, how long it is. It's about 9.7 miles. The highest peak is 990 or so. 97. Hold up, I get it right now. 980. So yeah, man, looks like a good little ride, man. 10, almost 10 miles. I would ride that. I was thinking about going for a ride today too. Of course, doing the social distancing thing. Just to get out, man, because I'm not going batshit crazy. I like being outside, so a lot of times I'll just stay outside, and I gotta get my workout in today. So going back to the things to do while you're inside is try to get like a little movement going. Just think, I kind of see it like, I just say that, I don't know. It's just kind of like you watch those movies where people are confined, and the one thing that you see, the common thread that you see, like with most people that come out of any type of captivity situation, not to say we're in the same thing, but they keep a schedule. You know what I mean? They work
Yeah.
out, they get outside. There's things they do throughout the day to kind of keep them busy. Because the healthy thing not to do is, like as you stated earlier, is don't watch the news 24/7, because you will go fucking insane on that.
Man,
because
I've been
it's just
trying to tell my mom that. I'm like, yo, why are you just find some? We got a Fire Stick. We have thousands of channels. Watch something else. Like,
right. It's like a guy I know. He was telling me that he knows of people that were like they're not leaving their house. Like and this was like a week or so before because they feel like it's right. If they open the window, it's like right outside, you know. And I can understand how people can feel that way, especially if they've never been in a situation like this, when most of us haven't. But
mhm,
it's if you, and it's all about education, right? It's and not to say that they're not educated, but what I mean is the education of knowing like what they're dealing with, like what this virus is and where it came from and how it got created and how it, you know what I mean? If they understand the chain of it, but if they just understand like the result of it, then they have no context. You
it's
know what I
true.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I try to do a lot of my own digging. And I'm not saying that I'm an expert, but I understand it more so now than, and not to say that I understand the cure, like how long it stays on surfaces, because that information is always changing. But I'm just saying, like, I'm more aware of the origin and how to avoid getting it. So, like, once you kind of know those things, then you can kind of not live in so much fear. But if you don't know any of that stuff, you know what I mean, and you're getting all these conflicting reports on the news, then you're just gonna like, fuck that. I'm not gonna take a chance. I'm staying inside. I'm gonna lock myself in the
Yeah.
room, put a blanket on top of me, and then I'm gonna put my phone under that, and fucking put a box of cereal in the under the blankets with me, so that way I don't.
My
You know what I
toilet
mean? You
paper.
start, yeah. You know what yeah, man. So yeah, toilet paper, yeah. But my point is just like try to keep a balance in your life. I mean, both of us included, and just try to keep some humor with it. You know, like laughter is more important now than probably ever before. You know what I mean? I'm not saying to
Yeah.
laugh at people's like suffering. And what I'm saying is like to laugh at certain situations because most of the stuff that we're some of the stuff that we're dealing with, like we were dealing with, is so trivial now. Some of the things that were just, oh my god, I don't know how I'm ever gonna deal with this, and then like this happens, and it's just like, holy shit, that I don't know why the fuck I was stressing out about that. Just kind of laugh about it. You know what I mean? Exactly, and it
Opens
just
your
kind of puts
eyes.
things. What's up?
I said it definitely opens your eyes up. You
Yeah, it
know,
definitely does. But
I, everything.
right, I'm trying to get you back. Stop sharing. Start sharing. Anywho, there it is. So yeah, man. I also talked to so Will Spitwell. I always have to pause because I know like you know what I mean, like because I want to say the names I knew him, as in the military,
Hmm.
but I'm just trying to. So that's something new to me. You know what I mean? So that's when I pause. I'm like, oh yeah. So I was talking about having him on the podcast, and he's the one that when I was with him stationed in Korea, he was putting music together since then, and that was back in 2006, 2005, around there, seven. I don't know. Those days, the days all kind of fucking run together for me. But
Run on sentence. I get
that
it. I
that
know.
that that's what got me prepared for today. Fucking living in mop gear, like I don't know, 6 months out of the year or whatever it was, because we were always exercising. And then I wasn't so. I mean, granted, it's not like some of the issues that some people had to deal with, deploying in mop gear, but um, and in my experience running in mop gear, like in Korea in the fucking summer, dude, like people were, because you can take off your mask, you know what I'm talking about. You would have to pull it out, and then the sweat would just fall, and then you put it back on. But you weren't supposed to do that. So some people had like sweat, like in their fucking mop mask, like up to here. And I was like, "How the fuck are you breathing?" And then it's like they were like going like this, and then they were just trying to seep it out. But yeah, man. Anyways, but that's kind of a prepare, like just waiting, inside or whatever, or if you're on duty, then you had to run around, and trying to run around mop gear is fucking stupid. Like you just feel like a duck or something, like trying to run full speed because it's just like your boots are too big, you're flopping everywhere, you have all this gear on, and you have we had a M16 with us, so we're like because we're doing cell arm, so we're running up and down these fucking flights of stairs. It was dumb, like, but it got us ready for now. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the training was dumb. I understand the concept of it, but I'm just saying like trying to watch us run, was dumb because we look like idiots,
Hey,
But
gave you another tool of life. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You know how to. You've already walked through that exercise before, so a couple
yeah,
exercises.
yeah. So, so you're gonna try to get it right in today. I'm gonna try to get it right in today as well. I just don't know if it's gonna be on the trails because I imagine a lot of people are trying to be out today. And one thing that, not to create more, but one thing I thought about is like if you're in line with somebody, like not in line in the sense of like in the store, but if you're riding with somebody, right? And even if you're 6 feet apart, you're in line, so you're following each other and you're breathing the same. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really 6 feet apart. I would think you would have to give yourself a bigger distance unless it's like a windy day or something. But
Yeah, I don't
I think
think
for
I don't think it's gonna be that packed for me. It's not.
yeah.
It's not. I mean, it's not that big. In the places that I go, they don't ride like that. So
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
here, I mean, when I went last week, there was quite a few more people out riding, but I would run into somebody like every 5 minutes or so. But it was just in passing, you know what I mean? But that idea stayed in my head. Like, even if you're like, so if you were to maintain the 6 feet social distancing, right, it wouldn't be the same in riding because if you're riding the same trail and you're behind somebody, you know what I mean? Like
you the
that. That's
Handlebars
like
there.
just think about like as gross as it may be, but think about this: if the person in front of you is like 30 feet in front of you and he farts, you're gonna ride right into that. You know,
Yeah, mouth open.
mouth open and everything. Might make your hair a little curly, but you
Yeah,
know.
you're gonna taste. You're gonna taste what he had for breakfast.
or she had for
See,
breakfast.
that is right. You're gonna taste
Yeah,
what they have for breakfast.
yeah. Be like, I know you had ketchup this morning,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Well, okay. Get you.
yeah.
Yeah, but whatever's done today, man, be safe out there, man, and
You too, man. Definitely when you go to the
yours.
grocery store, like make sure just to, don't go like have a list, but then just be prepared to grab what you can get. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a list taker, and we hit pretty much all everything on my list.
Oh, nice, dude. We didn't even, like this. I think this kind of flowed together a little bit better. We didn't even like really try to plan it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
But hopefully, not hopefully, but next Wednesday we have Jonathan Hagerman, who's the president of the Dirt Derby Project and founder. He's going to be on with us, so we got to probably get together and kind of work out some bugs before that. So we never had three people on. Hopefully, the network is supporting. Um, we're able to get this good of a connection. We won't have so
Hmm.
many issues like we had this morning. But so look forward to that. And then after that, I'm going to have Will Spetwell, a friend of mine who puts out music and is under the, I don't know if he created or just with the record label, like it was jointly created with him and the people the artists that he has with under that label, or it's called Push Audio. So you can follow them on Instagram. You can also follow Jonathan Hagerman. He falls under the Dirt Therapy Project. On Twitter, you just search that and you can see a picture of, you know what, I'll just do it right now so people can know. Um, since, oh, I gotta share the screen. But they just raffled off. If it was your size, dude, I would have told you about it. But they just raffled off a Santa Cruz Chameleon hardtail, and somebody won it. I think I don't
Nice.
know what. Yeah, dude, and the person who came to come pick it up and everything. Oops, wrong button. Share screen. Can you see my screen yet?
Yes.
All right, hold up, man. We're almost done, man. I know you gotta run some errands.
That's all good. I'm just over here mapping out my day, having a plan. You know, I might go fishing.
There you go. Just don't be kissing any of those fish. So I'll go to their website.org. All right. So can you see my screen? No, that's the wrong website because they changed it tdrp.org. Please scratch that last one off. I am Jack the Dirt Therapy Project.org. Tell you, man, some people like me, they can't even do a basic search. So this is a Dirt Therapy project, and I've spoke about it before, but we're gonna have Jonathan Hagerman, who's look at that, there's a picture of us on Instagram. So that's Jonathan. That's myself. This is at the Duro shuttle series that we did. We both placed second. That's his bike. That's my bike. But yeah. Also, if you guys want to follow me, I'm on Instagram as Crash Fitty. I'm also on YouTube, there's my link. I can't change that yet because I need more than 100 subscribers. I'm not saying to subscribe to me just for that reason, but if you like the content, subscribe. If you don't, then that's fine.
You can still or share it.
Or share it, yeah. If my stuff's not your thing, and you have somebody that you feel may be interested or can benefit from programs such as this, I'm just one of the people that benefit from it. So I just try to raise awareness as much as I can for other veterans, or people just want to try mountain biking in general. Not to say that the TDRP is going to do that because it's just for veterans and active duty, but it's going to be more so just for, like if you're interested in I'll take you out riding. And we can go out once this band's lifted.
Yeah, and I'll just take you out.
There you go. It'll just take you out. Either way, you're going to get out one way or the other. But yeah, man, stay safe out there. Enjoy your shopping. Try to, if you see something going down, just walk away. The toilet paper is not that bad, but
just take a shower. I'm still on that. Just take a shower. If you take a poop, take a shower. Just take a shower.
There you go. Just take a shower. There you go. Take a shower and then take a poop. There you go. The words of wisdom from Chug over here, and yeah. But you guys be safe, man. You guys out there, thanks for listening, and we'll try to get another one rolling. You still gonna be able to do Sunday, or we could talk offline after that. Yeah.
Hey,
in the meantime,
stay safe out there.
Stay safe out there. In the meantime, this is Mop 1 for these active and military veterans. Just the helmet, but. All right, man. You guys be safe. You be safe out there, man, and let me know how your shopping goes later.
For sure.
All right, guys. Stay tuned. Out.
Right back at you.
Check. Who do you harm with that hot shit you shoot in your arm? Locked down in one block, the rest of the world moving along. The content is not new to a song, but quarterly I see no change. Must be doing it wrong. Brother probably thinking I forgot him. Mother haven't heard from me, wonder what's the problem. Wife get whatever I can afford, but what does my time cost? Body walk around, but my mind.